Greetings to you, colleagues. Congratulations with our holiday. So, me and Kirill Domkin, who prepared this report together with me, had this opportunity. I wouldn't say that we have to do that, but it's a great honor that we are making such a report about such a great person, Oleg Mikhailovich Gerasimov, and we try to make it with the strongest responsibility. Hopefully, this very report will be interesting for you and for those people who are not acquainted with the works of Oleg Mikhailovich. You will be able to know them better. So, for 1 year, we don't have Oleg Mikhailovich together with us, and of course, it's a very deep loss for the business TRIZ and for his relatives, for his family. And of course, it is very hard to cure such a pain. Of course, time treats it, but till the end, finally, this wound won't be healed, and we can continue the labor and the work of Oleg Mikhailovich and support his relatives, his family. And in this report, we try to show Oleg Mikhailovich from different sides. Of course, he was multifaceted personality. He was TRIZ master. He was candidate of technical sciences. He was active inventor. Of course, if you deal with TRIZ business, invention is going along the line. Of course, he was a great teacher, methodologist, and he's got developments in TRIZ sphere, and I will talk about them more in detail a bit later to concentrate your attention at his developments so that you would be inspired and they won't be forgotten. Here, I tried to show some major features of his life. So he was bringing TRIZ philosophy within the whole life. He met TRIZ in 1985, and all his life, this way or another, was related to TRIZ and connected to that thing in different hypostases, in different roles, but he was walking shoulder to shoulder with TRIZ business, TRIZ education system. And I would like to underline such a thing that he was starting like a steering man, like helmsman of motorship. And that start was really inspiring him. And when we talked to his spouse, Ludmila, despite the fact that it was a while ago, it was long ago, conditionally speaking, in his childhood, but he met some colleagues of his, even from there, from Yakutia, and he's got a lot of memories from that period of time. And well, I considered it to be proper to mention it, that he started like a helmsman or like steerman of motorship. And the meeting acquaintance with Mr. Gerasimov was very tight, so you can see that 460-hour training, it's a huge basic, like foundation, and then his work was built on that. And now we will listen to him thanks to those videos which are left from his interview when he was making some interview to Evgeny Kustov. So I've been dealing with TRIZ since 85, when I was studying in St. Petersburg Institute in postgraduate. And then one friend came up to me and said, we will resolve problems, we'll invent. And he said that we deal with the vehicles of internal combustion. And we were laughing together. And I said, okay, let's do it. It was Dmitry Sergeyevich Smirnov who talked to me. And he worked in Elektrosila company together with Mr. Gerasimov. And he was pretty strong man. Unfortunately, he is sick now. So he talked to me about that, and I was really ignited with this idea. And professionally, I've been working in TRIZ as professional for a long time. I want to draw your attention how empathic he is, how with empathy he is putting this story. And you can go deeper into this year of 1985, and you know how I can see that every day how colleagues from different technical centers, from different enterprises, that skeptical approach when the person is acquainted with TRIZ. First he's skeptical, but the specificity of Oleg Mikhailovich, that he knew his audience very well who came to his training. And so he had this empathy, and he understand that people come to the training, to the education. But you see that rotation, routine, flow, they're kicking them out of the TRIZ stream. So after seminar, you have to read something, to try something. So that's why this rotation and like routine business was kind of were depressing people. So those people who worked with him as students, somebody held seminars together with him, and so Oleg Mikhailovich as inventor, you see, I couldn't skip uh, about more than 35 IPs, like patents of Oleg Mikhailovich. So I would like to underline those first inventions of his. So he was dealing with ship engines, and first patent was connected with the engine installation, and he said that part of the energy is coming through the counter propeller, and he invented how to put it back into the uh, ship power grid. And then we are taking those resources in the power system. And the second patent, Oleg Mikhailovich couldn't skip energy resources, so that's why the heat exchanger body is made as the vessel shell plating. So that's why we decrease the weight of the construction and heat capacity and on and on. So huge of part of his life he worked in algorithms. So here you can see his colleagues. Pretty vast majority of those people are here in the picture. You can see your faces even out of those who are present here. Some people unfortunately passed away, so he was in the middle of that picture. So also let's listen how Oleg Mikhailovich is speaking about his work in the algorithm. So in this algorithm, we get this department, trizification, and we've been implementing such projects mainly within the last years. I was working with the recycling secondary tasks, and we were checking those concepts which we could take and we could put in TRIZ. So that very direction also was mine. So Oleg Mikhailovich in the beginning worked in the algorithm as executive of the project, and then he worked in other department, and he said that some part of his life he dealt with verification. So yesterday I asked this question, so at which moment and what does it mean, the resolution of the problem? For one person it's an idea for the problem, for another person it's overcoming contradiction or discrepancy, but for the end user, problem solving is when he got some definite value in the end of the project. So that's why he dealt with this prototyping, and he was given this hardware piece, which was resolving the problem of the customer. So I guess that this very experience allowed Oleg Mikhailovich to communicate his students when they studied at his to communicate with them in one language and to understand how it is difficult to implement something in the enterprise and verified it then. So that's why he was speaking with his student, with his listeners in one language. So the next step of his career is work in Hilby. So here you can see the picture when he was among his colleagues in this department. So you know Mikhail Semyonovich very well. So he's on the right side of his, also Igor Misichenko out of our participants. So several words about Hilby. When we created such material, we of course communicated with his colleagues, and Mikhail Semyonovich was very gracious to give us some of his workouts when they made diversified subversion analysis for Hilby. For those who don't know about this company, this is startup company which was built around the idea of fitness bracelet, but it's not the limitation of that very device, because that very bracelet, actually it was given to our president, and when this very subversion analysis was conducted, what it really showed to us that not all people by far would like and will wear such fitness bracelet because of some elementary reasons. For example, me, I try to wear such fitness bracelets, so they're very convenient and compact and everything. But this is sometimes because of dress code or my clothing style, it doesn't suppose this wearing of such a bracelet. So I tried to wear it for 2 times, but finally I quit that. So it is not really convenient to wear such bracelet on your hand, but still our friends went to the direction Hilby flash drive. Everyone has flash drives, and they are given at any conference or exhibition as a little gift. So this is very common thing, and people can take this flash drive in your pocket all the way. So the idea was to create such flash drive with all the features which was in that bracelet, with idea of taking it with you or wearing on your hand. So Oleg Mikhailovich was directly participating in holding of subversion analysis and different suggestions in this direction. So next stage was working in the company scientific production company. So here they have this very congress in scientific industrial complex, a pretty good team. And we know that a lot of students were trained by him, and through his system, through his trainings, including Rusal people. And sometimes when I meet people at Rusal's and companies, and they remember, oh yeah, we remember Oleg Mikhailovich, he was training us. So they really remember him. So several works about input in TRIZ itself. Why it will be short? Because we don't have enough time to shed all light on this topic. So you will have some links to these topics afterwards. You can meet them. So working on selecting innovative design tools based on trees. It's a pretty major work. It's one of the serious works of his on creation of roadmaps and algorithm of implementation of the project. So Oleg Mikhailovich had a lot of publications on that one, and after such dissertation, scientific work, he had special articles on that. So at first you try some direction, then you test it, you verify it, and then you make your own methodology. So you the essence of it, you select type of the project, and in relation to that choice you can get methodology and recommendation. So roadmap looks like that. So for every project type they select special roadmap, and then you carry out this project on the basis of this roadmap. So those who don't know this very approach, it's really worth it to spend some time and to get acquainted with this direction. So after that, behind those roadmaps, there is methodology for execution of the project, and it's pretty detailed work, so you can take it and use step by step and fulfill TRIZ projects. Also, there are a lot of methodological materials which were left by Oleg Mikhailovich as inheritance, those materials which were made as the conclusion and the results of consolidation and then smoothing it out and on and on.
For those teaching trees, well, of course, you know some other examples regarding radiator sensor, I mean temperature sensor, a very vivid example. And again, those trained by Oleg, of course, remember about this example. Then flow analysis,
не понаслышке знают люди, которые преподают ТРИЗ. Это тоже было разработка Олега Михайловича.
that
За что ему
was
огромное спасибо.
one of his
И, конечно же,
inventions
стоит
along
сказать
with
о воспитании
others.
специалистов по
And
ТРИЗ. Вот
of
здесь
course, I
представлен
need to
профессор
comment on
из
training three
Project
specialists.
Rising, которого
You
вы
can see
прекрасно
Alexander
знаете.
Transin on this
Здесь
photo.
я
You
представлен,
heard him
какой-то
speaking
энергетический
yesterday,
специалист, другой
as well as me,
ну или
Anton
помимо
Karitonov.
все мы вот на этой фотографии
All of
получили
us
третий уровень по системе Икара Дедал. Дедал
were
и Олег
assigned
Михайлович
to
нас
level
подтолкнули.
3, and
Это было
Oleg
непросто. Олег Михайлович
gave us
очень
this
удивил, но
certification.
при
That was
этом
quite
по-доброму всегда
hard
давал такие
because
рекомендации.
Oleg was very
Был
strict.
заметен, что такого тода
This
награды
being said,
формировались
he was
своими
very kind when
подопечными
speaking
и
to
тем самым располагал к себе и
his
товарищей
mentees,
по
which is
хотели
why
учиться
people
по системе Икара Дедал.
were interested
Здесь вот мы
in getting
узнаем уже
one
третий
more
уровень.
Teresa
Но вообще,
level,
если
or
посмотреть
were interested in
реестр
working with him.
Икара Дедал, то там
And
дальше
if you
стоят все
look at
были сертифицированные Олегом Михайловичем. Это
Teresa
достаточно большое количество таких
experts
специалистов, которые
list,
приходят к
you
Олегу
can see
Михайловичу,
that many of
оставили
these
память о
got
частице
certified
его
by
мудрости
Oleg,
и знаний,
and
и
these are
умения.
people who keep
И я надеюсь, дальше понесут
parts of
эти
his
знания, умения
wisdom and
и
knowledge, and
ну, от себя
hopefully
я хотел бы
will
сказать
carry all these immense knowledge
спасибо
into
за
the
занятия с
world.
Олегом Михайловичем. У него
And
была такая, знаете,
one more comment.
добрая уверенность. Мы
He was very
все, наверное,
kind, confident.
когда вот,
Sometimes
молодежь
people
взглянем на
are
человека
aggressive
вот такого
when they are
поколения, то
confident.
мы внезапно
People are
понимаем,
just
что куда
trying to take you to some
идея хочет,
new
а
level, new
Олег
standard,
Михайлович была
and
добрая
you
уверенность. То есть,
start
когда
to
он
have
говорил,
doubts whether you
ты
really
понимал, что
want it.
да, но в тот
But
момент, знаете,
Oleg
Олег, как это будет?
understood
Когда я
that
сейчас на третий уровень, Олег Михайлович мне говорит, ну все, это
everything is
буквально занять
going
статистикой на третий уровень.
to happen the
Он
way
говорит, ну
he
все,
would
готово.
say. For
Давай,
example,
мастерскую работу делай,
once Oleg told me, okay, please start working on your mm, master work.
Он говорит мне, ну 4-й
And
уровень ты получишь, у тебя
Oleg
есть проекты, ты их выполнял,
told
уже
me
есть
that it doesn't
установки и
matter
так
that
далее.
I
А вот
was
мастер,
only
она требует
level
практические
3 at the time, and that
элементы
I
искусства,
needed
и да, я начал
to
изучать. И вот эти
uh,
слова, они,
be given a level
они
of
были
4
сами
before I
собой,
can
они не
complete this
заставляли меня для
mm,
того, чтобы начать слушать
TRIZ
и практически
master level.
работу.
And
И я
these
надеюсь,
words
свою магистерскую работу
were
я
said in a very inspiring
успешно в
way,
памяти
which is
Олега
why I
Михайловича, и
got
всячески
enthusiastic
постараюсь
about
им
doing
дальше
working on my
воспламлять и
uh,
светлую память Олега
master
Михайловича
TRIZ work.
таким образом сохранить в этой работе. Я передаю слово Кириллу
And I'll try
Герасимову.
to
Кирилл,
keep all my kind of memories about
Да,
Oleg
спасибо, Алина.
when working on
Отлично
this
продолжим. Вот ты
work.
показывал
Let me
только
give
руку,
the
в основном
floor
показываешь
to
фотографии.
our second
Одна маленькая
speaker,
деталь, которую всегда отличал Олег
Kirill.
Михайлович. Вот если посмотреть все фотографии, которые были
So
показаны, все
Oleg had
детали
one
подчеркнуты в галстуке.
particularity.
Всегда. Это у него было
You see
просто
that
отдельная такая фишка.
a
Вот когда
tie
он
is
сейчас
worn only
были
by
добрые семинары,
Oleg.
ехали с ним проводить семинары. Вот
For
сколько этих
example,
семинаров у Олега Михайловича, столько у
we
каждого
went
галстук.
to deliver
Каждый из них
some
выходил голый
training,
галстук. Вот прям
and
вот была его особая
it
фишка.
doesn't matter how
И
many
стоит только
days
начать рассказывать,
long
читать. Он
was
провел много
a
семинаров,
workshop
все эти
to be
семинары
delivered,
как бы
he
связали в свою жизнь,
always
решили
wore
связать свою жизнь
a
с ними.
tie.
Уже более детально как бы
And
фамилии имен называть не буду,
you can see
показывать не буду,
on these
показывать не
photos
сложно.
many
Вот,
people
там многие
who made a decision
крупнейших проектами
to
подряд побеждали на разных конкурсах.
link their lives, to dedicate their
Разных
lives
предприятий.
to ease.
Вот,
I'm not
что
going to
еще?
list them all
Семинары
so
проходили
that
блестящие. Ну,
nobody
вообще к
is
культуре подходил очень ответственно.
forgotten. And
Вот смотрел,
Oleg,
какая там
it is very
группа, как они
characteristic of
зарегистрированы,
Oleg
и
because
можете
he
сказать,
was a
где-то делал
very
презентации, ну, которые у него были
responsible
заготовлены
person,
на несколько
and
дней. Где-то надо
he
переделать, надо что-то там как-то адаптировать. И
watched
еще такой очень
closely
яркий
how
пример там
material
с правой стороны
was
циферки. Это как раз вот он всегда
taken on
стремился,
board
если есть
by the
возможность,
listeners,
провести
and
семинар в
where
какой-то
necessary,
другой
he made
ну
some
и, например,
changes to
сказать,
his
говоря, как вы
presentations
собираетесь
the
Олег, ну, запускай
day
большой
before
семинар.
he was about to speak. Let me show just a short fragment of a video.
Ну, что-то как-то без звука. Ну, ладно.
Unfortunately, we can't
Следующий
hear any
слайд.
sound.
Курсы. Да,
As for
Олег Михайлович
online
популяризировал
training
качество
courses,
подготовки видеокурса.
well, actually,
Вот
Oleg
это был
was one
первый
of the
курс.
first
Основное
to
направление
start
решения практических задач был записан еще в 2019 году.
recording
Сейчас вот прочитал в
video
комментариях, как
courses.
студенты
I
пишут, что как раз
could
ознакомились
see in
с
the
там
comments
большим удовольствием прослушали
that
видеокурсы
someone is saying
Олега Михайловича.
that
Также
took
вот
a big pleasure
введение в теорию решения
watching
изобретательских задач, что там
online
идет коллективное
course
открытие.
by
Ну вот Олег
Oleg.
Михайлович делал блог про
And
естественный
Oleg
анализ.
always
Так,
included
что еще? Ну, в общем, отчасти как раз вот
a
вот эти
very
яркие
big
разных
part of
цифровых
his
соображений,
trainings
даже
on
классно.
development
Это как раз
of
его практический
capabilities to solve
курс, то есть он вот
inventive
как раз был
problems,
достаточно
and
большим, полным, и
his
как раз, ну, наверное, все
last
материалы по
course that
разработке,
he
которые у
completed
него были именно по
was
СПВ, он туда вложил.
the
Вот,
main
теперь
areas of
следующий слайд
solving
про
inventive
увлечение.
tasks. I
Вот,
believe
конечно же,
that these
увлечение– это
course included
автомобили.
everything,
Вот
all
если
his
можно
ideas
обязательно
about
там
this topic.
раззаходить на все
I also
тест-драйвы
need
своих
to
автомобилей,
comment
стремился
his
раз в 3 года
hobbies.
обновлять
For
свой автопарк.
he tried
Советую всегда
to get a new
практически поставлять
vehicle
утренние
every
маршруты,
3 years,
появляются
and
там не обязательно все
you know,
места,
always
куда съездить, как проехать, где
had a
остановиться,
very good
посмотреть. Это
practice
прям
of
вот
going
очень
to
хорошо у
test
него был
drives.
спорт.
He was
Различные
very
на
good
лыжах
at
катался по горам,
doing
выходили в
sports, multiple
лыжки,
sports,
пока были
including
помидоры, очень много
skiing.
городов прошел.
When
Фактически очень гулял. Вот на гитаре
we were on
играл,
different business
гитара
trips,
единственный инструмент.
we
Вот,
did a lot of
когда служил
walking,
срочную службу, попал в Афган.
and
Вот,
he
что
also
еще
happened to
помимо этого?
be in
Так,
Afghanistan.
значит, следующий, да, это наш
And
микроколлектив, в котором
this
набилось
is our
75
micro
поколений
team
благотворителей.
where we had a
В
chance
НПК довольно
to
родненько
work.
столетним
It
осталось
happened so
несколько
that
лет.
I
И вот
joined
Оля как раз
NPK on the
рассчитывает,
same
что
day
еще
as
10 лет
Oleg,
быть на
and
фронте.
Mr.
То есть
Selidin
довольно
joined the company on that same
тесно
day.
работал в
And
дополнительный
Oleg
момент. Они очень хорошо
previously
перезнакомились друг другу, когда
worked
переезжали по
with a guy
Советскому Союзу. И я так вот
previously.
как спросил, а кто такой Георгий
And
Северинец? Олег
once I
рассказал, ну
asked
это такой вот, как
who
я,
Georgi
тульский человек.
uh,
Вот, и у нас как бы
was, and
сразу
Oleg told me
начались
that
хорошие отношения. Мы втроем
he's
путь
just like me,
проводили свой
but
на
he's
один
younger.
ездить в командировки.
And we
Никогда не было у
had
нас
very
таких
good relationship.
столь серьезных
We went on
разногласий.
multiple
И мы
business
вместе
trips
работали вместе,
together.
отдыхали вместе
We
в скуры выходного дня. И еще у нас
uh,
есть такая вот образовалась фишка, как пожизненная
did
гарантия. То есть все те,
tourism
кто у нас
together as
проходили
well, not only business trips.
проходил обучение,
And
имеют право в
during
любой момент
all
позвонить,
trainings,
связаться и обратиться за советом. То есть вот
we
Оля
have the
сейчас
tradition
старается продолжать.
that we can
Следующий
always reach
слайд.
out
У нас в прошлый
to
раз он был,
one of
конечно, длиннее.
the
Это
three and ask
Людмила,
for
моя
advice.
супруга, работает в театре. Вот. И у
And
нас получилась
as
такая вот
Людmila,
командировка
Alex's
проходить театр.
wife,
То есть вот если мы проезжали
works in
одну
theater,
неделю, мы не
we also
могли
had
вообще
a
особенно
tradition
выходить. То есть вот если у нас
to go
такая есть
to a
как раз
theater.
Нижегородский театр,
And
мы
during all business
культурно-формировщики
trips, we
организовывали. Мы
managed to fit in
составляли
there is
список театральных
2 or
фестивалей.
3
Вот. И он был как бы самым главным нашим
evenings
театральным
where we
списком. Мы
went
сходили
to
в
theater,
спектакль. Ну, Олег, ну как, рассказывай. Он говорит, что вот
and
я
we
этот
also exchanged
спектакль видел, наверное, раз 10, ну, а
our
может, уже не
impressions
самый худший рассказывал.
about
То есть вот такая история. И еще
the
одну букву
performances
про
that
Олега
we've
хотелось бы
seen.
подсветить. Вот следующий
And
слайд.
one more topic
Это то, что он
is
очень
that
хорошо умел
Oleg
трудиться.
was a
Это
very
такой
good
момент, что он как бы
friend.
родился, появился на свет не один. А у него
And by
была
the way,
есть
yeah, he
сестра
was
двоюродка
born
Герасимова. Вот.
with
И еще
his
один
twin
такой
sibling,
больших и
his
давних
sister,
его друзей, я бы сказал, лучший друг, это Борис
and
Михайлович Нагаев. Они с ним
Boris
учились в одном классе,
Nagaev was also
вместе
one of
поступали
his
в
best
военно-морское
friends.
училище. Олег
So they
поступил, а вот
uh,
Борис Михайлович поступил,
studied
стал
in the same
подметкой. То есть мы
class.
его потом,
So they
когда
were
шансов особо
schoolmates. Then they went to the
преимущественно
Navy
как раз
school
постепенно стал
together.
вовлекать Бориса
And
Михайловича в это авантюризм,
when
то есть где с
Arya got
80-х годов.
introduced
И в
to Teresa,
1920
he
году он уже
started
организовал
to
практику специалиста, и он уехал во Владивосток
get Boris
работать
interested
руководителем
in
проекта
the
специалистом
topic. And some years
в
later,
Запорожской
Boris
области.
went
Ну,
to
то есть,
Vladivostok
что
to
еще можно
work
подметить?
as
Следующий,
the
наверное, слайд.
person
Надеюсь,
responsible
на последних
for
фотографий. Он
implementation
всегда
of
был
projects for the
веселым
Vladivostok port.
и
And
оптимистичным
one
человеком.
more
То есть вот
feature, he
как бы
was
вот эти
very
фотографии, это такой
optimistic,
посыл, который он нам
a very lively
всячески оставляет.
person. And
Не надо
this
грустить,
photo
можно
is
к жизни
just
относиться
testify
оптимистично.
to that. So you don't need
Вот.
to get upset with life. You always need
Антон, Кирилл,
um,
спасибо
mm,
огромное
stay
за такие
optimistic.
теплые слова
Anton
о
Kirillov,
вашем
thank you
друге.
very
Конечно,
much
вы действительно
for the kind words
человек
about
прекрасен, и
Oleg.
заслуживает
It is
действительно быть
true that this is
воспоминанием.
an
Лично у меня
absolutely
объятая
incredible
высоким
person,
теплом,
and
и
personally, I
спасибо
worked
огромное
with
за то,
Oleg
что
as
вы
well
в
from the very
впечатление было
first
такое,
days
что
of me
схожая
getting
обстановка,
introduced
но
to
находите
Teresa,
подход,
and
который не
for
поддается
me,
всяким
he
препятствиям.
was always
О
a
нем
person
подробно представляли
who you
эти
can
места.
approach for
Вы
getting
очень
an answer to
теплые,
any
крепкие,
question.
любознательные. Даже до самых
He
последних этих времен.
had a very
Поэтому
warm
ну,
handshaking
сказать,
till the
очень
very
хорошие люди.
days he
Быть
was like that.
вашим
And
другом.
of course,
Спасибо большое, Антон и Кирилл, еще раз за такую замечательную
it is
беседу
very
и
sad
тему,
when
которая нам
such
нужна.
people
Да,
pass
спасибо.
away. Just one more comment. I'd like to stress that the summit of TRIZ developers wouldn't just exist without Oleg Gerasimov. Because he was very proactive in developing this forum. Till the very last days, he was trying to do the utmost to contribute to its development. And we will always remember about him and remember how much he did
Да,
for us.
да, спасибо, Михаил Семенович. Действительно это так. Итак,
Yes, indeed, this is true.
сейчас у нас на очереди